somebody tell me that the media is stronger than the Quran, the Torah, and the Bible combined.
Absolutely.
Media is what brainwashes people into thinking a certain way. That's how Hitler was able to do what he did.
Absolutely.
So it's so many nuances to it, man. That it's messed up because a lot of people don't even know where it starts or where it ends, and they don't understand the game in order to be able to think of a way how we can combat, how we can defend ourselves against what's going on right now. So it just seems like everything is just in disarray.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay, but real quick, Swag, because we at the 3 hour mark and I gotta go to work. So I think we should do final thoughts.
Let's let the homie Hustler and Muscular say
After
something because he
Hustler.
just got up here. So
And
let's let him
Demetrius
say.
too, right? Demetrius.
Yeah, yeah,
So after
yeah.
you two, we're gonna do final thoughts because I gotta go. I gotta go to work. So
Yeah, she a working girl, so we gotta end it at a proper time. So go ahead. What you got to say, Hustler or Muscular? What you got, man?
you want mute, my
You
love.
mute, brother.
Killing them sweet, bringing the heat, looking so fly in the YouTube streets.
Boom.
Thank you. All right.
Oh, boy. It's a lot I have to say, but I got to cut it short. As far as that Tory Lanez is concerned, yes, I think he was done a little dirty. I mean, 10 years. I mean, from what I understand, his DNA was not even on the weapon. Instead, Meg Thee Stallion's girlfriend had her hands on the weapon or whatever. That was her DNA. Now he may have knocked the gun away from her or something, but it was her who was actually holding the weapon, and he still got time for that.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, you got to understand. I have to think about this too. What may seem like, well, Melanie mentioned 5 years is the maximum he should have got, but what could seem like 5 years in your state could be 10 years in some other state. The laws differ everywhere, so maybe that has something to play a part in it. And plus, Tory Lanez already got a pass. From what I understand, he already got 2 criminal charges. The old 3 strikes you're out rule. That was his 3rd strike, so now he's got double the time. Trust me, I've seen that happen. It happens in real life. I know. I've heard stories of that happening.
So what do you think was fair? Like, what do you think he should have gotten?
If I had my way, just give him the 5 years just for even possessing, maybe 2-3 years just for even having the damn weapon on him in the first place. Why would you bring a weapon to a big gathering like that in the first place? Possession of a weapon. I would have charged with possession of a weapon and discharging of a weapon or something, whatever. Whatever the penalty is for discharging a weapon, that's what he should have gotten.
Right. Makes sense.
Instead of just giving him a whole decade in prison.
Like
The
we
law
were
is
saying
different everywhere.
earlier.
The law is going to be against us.
We were saying earlier, they wanted to make an example out of him. He's a celebrity. He got status. That was the example right there. Saying,
Yeah.
you bros, y'all better stay in line because this is what's going to happen to you. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And plus, another thing that ain't nothing been talked about either is that Tory at the time just became an independent artist. So
Mhm.
with that in mind, he became an independent artist. So with that in mind, so when a man becomes independent, I mean he get all of his stuff. So whatever he sell, he getting all of that. He ain't getting it from no record labels and stuff like that. So and plus at the time, what Meg Thee Stallion had just joined Roc Nation too, and I think that was another situation with that. But then again, that's just my conspiracy theory mind going all over the place. So
No,
y'all go
you
ahead
got a
with that.
point. You got a point.
Yeah, because I mean, let's just be honest, man. When Tory Lanez came out, whether with the Sad song or I Can't Wait to Blow and all this other stuff, Tory was almost like how Future and T-Pain was. He would just churn out hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. He would be getting features left and right. So it's like now that the dude went independent, he get to have all of his money. Whoever buy his songs, whether if it's on iTunes, Spotify, whatever, he gonna get all of that. They're gonna recoup all that. Because I think even Roc Nation tried to get him. So now that they got Meg Thee Stallion, that's their baby. They can't let nothing happen to her. So And plus, she already had her pulse on the women in the society, all twerking, going crazy, be like, putting the tongue down and stuff. So, I mean, like I said, that's just my conspiracy theory mind going all over the place. So,
It sounds about right.
I'll go ahead and put in my final.
Yeah, but I
thoughts,
got they
right?
take it. So
Wait, well, before we do your final thought, let's do Demetrius, because I don't think
that's who was talking.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought that
yeah,
was
I'm
Clancy.
talking right
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
All right, listen. When you understand and can grasp the concept that radicalism is a tool of hyper-capitalism, that unchecked capitalism, right? Then you can understand why everything is so polarized in this society. One thing that I love to say is like, whatever happened to the middle is not the moneymaker. When people are angry, they spend money. That's it. So that's exactly what happened with this Tory Lanez situation. The fans are supporting different media outlets, and different smaller media outlets are talking about these situations and getting shine off that. So they're using that anger train to get, capital and all that. Listen, once you stop like feeding into that stuff and you actually take control of your algorithm, you don't actually like buy into that stuff, and you don't actually inadvertently support that. So what I would actually encourage people to do is take control of your algorithm. If something comes up on your YouTube feed, you see those little 3 dots on the side of the video, you can press those 3 dots and say, don't recommend this channel anymore. That's what I started doing recently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Peace.
definitely. That's what I do all the time.
Mm-hmm. And I be getting wild stuff in my algorithm. I'm like, why am I getting this?
Right. Salute to you, Demetrius, for dropping that knowledge, bro. Always the young boys giving that, man. So who else is up on the list?
I think it's final thoughts now because everybody went. So let's give our final thoughts.
Let Classy go. I heard him was trying to say something.
Oh my God, you trying to keep me longer? Okay, go ahead, Classy. What's your final thoughts?
Yeah. Well, my final thought basically, I had a good time on the show. It started off good for me at the hospital. Now it's starting to build up worse now. But thank you for having me on the show. Overall, I mean, like I say, great topics. I don't really have any final thoughts on the situation. It's just celebrity life is just crap. I mean, I live out in LA. I see it every day. So that's it.
Well,
all right, brother.
I'm happy you came. I sent you the link.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate you.
Oh, and I want to say one more thing before I leave.
Yes.
Melody, you look super duper amazing. Wow.
I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so let's go with who you want to go with? Hustler? Let's go with Hustler.
Yeah, we can go with him, and then we can go with Rakim, aka 18th Letter, and then Leo Anthony, and then my homie Culture.
Hey, I'm supposed to end it. You taking my final thoughts? What's up? Nah, let me stop.
You are going to end. You know, I said me, then you gonna take it home.
I know, baby.
You ain't even.
I'm just tired. I'm sorry. I'm grouchy. I gotta get.
I know.
Let's go.
You look so beautiful when you're feisty. Keep that energy, my girl.
Thank you.
The man with swag. They like
it. Swag got to deal with me every morning. I call him every morning. We be talking.
Damn.
Yeah.
Morning,
you're like that pesky little sister who will not leave him alone.
I will not leave him alone. All right, go ahead.
You want to put her for adoption? I'll take her.
Look at his face. All right, go ahead.
Anyways, my final thoughts were the Tory Lanez situation. Again, I said he should have got at least 5 years, but seeing as how he already got a pass, I guess that plays some part in it. Plus the laws differ everywhere. Yeah, maybe that's kind of what did it in the end, but I still think he was done a little dirty. Seeing as how first of all, he didn't even fire off the weapon. It was somebody else that did it. And now I will say this though, was he wrong for trying to pit Meg Thee Stallion and that other girl against each other? Well, maybe that's the only thing he's guilty of. You can't pit two ratchets against each other and expect positive results. It's like trying to put two pit bulls in a dog pen together. Chaos is going to ensue. So he should have held himself accountable for that at least. But as far as the charges, no, he was done dirty. And y'all talked about a whole lot of stuff that I was listening to, while I was at work. Teachers dressing all provocative at school. That's just uncalled for. And they want to say oppression towards women and all this kind of stuff. Preach about women should be free to wear your body, your choice. You in a freaking institution of education. Have some damn class for once. Like that article said, you put the ass in class, but you're not bringing no class to the school. That was a clever one. I ain't gonna lie. That was a clever one. So yeah, these teachers, and I don't know, come on, whatever happened to the days where teachers went to school wearing, I don't know, stockings and long dresses with some flats or whatever, and have their hair in a ponytail or a bun. Whatever happened to those days? Even the young teachers that were in their 20s, early 30s did that when I was in school.
So
I never went home.
You ain't have that one hot teacher that everybody crushed on, all the boys wanted.
I did, but even she came to school looking like class, not trash. So come on, you can see a difference there. Even we all had that hot teacher in high school, middle school that we wanted to bone at some point. Our little teenage man wanted to bone, but even she carried herself with class back then. So times are it's just crazy. And I want to say in a perfect world, don't hire teachers with curves. Don't hire these thick ass teachers, but we can't say that because that'll be misogyny. That'll be discrimination, gender discrimination. So we got to do better. And that porn star dating that young cat.
Corn star.
I ain't gonna lie to you. So what now?
Corn star.
Okay, my bad. Let's just say P star. Dating that young guy. I don't know about y'all, but when I was in my 20s, I bagged older women. I was 28 dating 35, 36-year-olds. So it ain't nothing new to me. And like Swag said, sometimes we have that, I don't know, curiosity as far as dealing with the older women. I've had that curiosity for 10 years. Like I said, I was 28, 29 dealing with 35, 36-year-olds. They all felt the same.
Why?
I used to wonder,
Why was you dealing with women that old? That young?
I don't know. Because they 30-some years old can still put it down on them, can still put it down. I don't know. Now, did I deal with females my own age? Yes, I did. I don't have an age. I prefer people my own age, but I'll take younger. I'll take older. You can be 45, still looking good. Swag, you okay, man?
I'm looking at who just joined the panel.
Who is that?
Brienne.
Brienne. Well, I guess we can get her final thoughts, right?
I guess, man. But I wish we could have just.
Why did you come up earlier, my girl? What's up, Brienne, my #1 fan? Girl, you be cooking like a frying pan.
Y'all want to stay another hour for Brienne?
You sure you want to do that, Melody?
Make it 30 minutes because I'm pretty sure Melody's tired. But let me say this.
I'm just saying. So yeah, we can stay an hour, I guess.
Look at you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh God, I coach you like, oh God, I see you over there.
Y'all better not let me embarrass myself and fall asleep snoring on here.
You just better keep that camera on, then.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off if anything.
What's funny is Melody. I got a reputation of falling asleep on streams. I might have to eject myself.
You're my sleep twin.
He do. Yeah, he do.
He's my sleep twin.
I seen him knocked out a few times on the street.
Only twice, man.
Wait, Swag.
That's enough. That's enough. Huh?
Is he worse than me, Swag? Is he worse than me?
Let's just say he's on cam.
Man, I pulled a whole all-nighter stream, and then I jumped over on Bronzebird, and then we sat up talking all night.
It was like this.
It just slumped.
I was snoring one time, and everybody was just saying, "Yo," they was calling me. Right? Tell them about it, Swag.
Yeah. I mean, I had to call her up a couple times just to get her to shut the stream off.
It was embarrassing. I was snoring loud.
But if you
what did it sound like? A lawnmower?
Brienne, and I'm gonna to make my final thoughts.
Oh, you want to do? You're leaving, or you want to stay?
I'm gonna take off for the night.
Okay.
All right, man. Go ahead, homie.
So look, it was actually the topics were knock it out the park. Absolutely awesome to discuss. I think I made my piece on all the topics. I don't want to recap everything.
Yeah, you ain't got to.
Yeah, and on this last one, I think it's a situation that was played for Tory. We don't know enough of the facts, and his priors just, I mean, that just put a censure on it. That just cinched it up for him. So not much we can say about that, but I do think he got railroaded a little bit, and I'll leave it at that. Otherwise, it has been an absolutely awesome discussion, awesome panel. I greatly thank you both for inviting me back on here. I hope to collab again in the future, maybe next Sunday.
Maybe next Sunday. I want to start the conversation, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Great to see you show up, Brienne. Glad you're here. Otherwise, everybody else, gentlemen, have a good evening. Hustler, everyone else, thank you very much. And yeah, everybody out there in the chat as well, check me out. And thank you very much for getting them likes up, y'all. Get the likes up.
Get them up, man. Get them up for both channels, and make sure y'all dropping his links in the chat, man. Subscribe to Culture Invasion Podcast, man.
I greatly appreciate it.
Thank
Everyone
you.
have a wonderful evening. Big up yourselves.
You too, man. Big up yourself, homie. Deuces, homie.
Peace. Look who we have here. We have Brienne. I'm so excited.
Yeah, look at her and all her glowingness.
Yeah, you look so pretty. You're glowing down there. Hey.
Hi, everyone. I just got back from visiting family, so I've been out all day.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah,
having fun out there.
Yeah, the baby had fun too. It was wilding out. It was a great time.
That's what's up. Got to make the memories with the family.
Mm-hmm. It's wonderful.
Outstanding.
You know what? I wasn't trying to barge in, but I saw the link, so I'm like, I might as well click it.
Hey, you're here now. That's all that matters.
You know you're part of this family, Bree. Welcome to the family.
You guys are here to help with the baby.
Hey, man, that's all the way in Oregon. I don't know if I got to.
Oh my god.
Shoot. Besides, I probably had too much fun with the baby. I'd be like, hold on, you see me and little bunny, we over here playing. Like, come on, let her Uncle Swag have some time.
No, you will be tired after you're done playing with her. She will wear you out.
Yeah, because I ain't as young as I used to be. So yeah, I probably will be tired.
Right. My goodness.
We love Bunny. So cute.
Yeah, we love that baby.
Yeah. I posted a shorts video of just like what we were doing during the week.
Mm-hmm.
And she has so much energy now. Oh no, I forgot my rings over my family member's house because I took them off to do my brother's hair.
Oh my god.
I'm married, but I left it up there.
The ring off.
And I was washing it. It was a whole thing.
Right. We understand.
Let me get back on top because I don't have my ring on. It just feels weird. Ooh, sentence to 10 years. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys hit all the points, but it's very, very important to choose the person you're going to be with wisely. And if you're a man, you need to choose the person you are dating or even dealing with very, very wisely. One false accusation, one mood swing, and that's your whole life changed. But like on a positive note, when you actually find somebody that you mesh really well with, it just improves your quality of life in so many different ways. Better sleep, better intimacy, you're eating better, healthier foods. But again, when you're dealing with the wrong person, all those things are completely opposite. But as far as the, other stories, is there any other questions you guys have or the final thoughts on? Because I was listening on my way home, but of course the baby was whining, so I didn't get to hear everything.
The baby always trumps everything, so I ain't even mad at you. But let me see. We talked about old girl Dre and Michelle messing with that young cat that's in the NBA. If you want to touch on that, we can touch on that if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'll speak my piece afterwards. Go ahead, Bree.
Mm-hmm. So much messing with someone younger than her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. She knew what she was doing,
She trying to secure that bag. That's what she doing.
Of
Yeah, that's what it
course.
typically is. Again, I don't really know her where she's from. Probably TV, right?
Yeah, she
So
just did a lot of reality TV. That's all.
reality TV. Yeah, that says a lot. Um, when you get to a certain age, dating is harder regardless. So it's almost like if you happen to find somebody younger that probably doesn't know about all your history, it's a benefit. But yeah, I think it is a double standard because the guy getting with the younger girl. I mean, I think you guys, if I'm not mistaken, have discussed like Marcus Houston and his wife. How the double standard is he's much older than her, but if a girl gets with someone that's younger than her, she's a cougar. Like it's a good thing. Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so
All right,
again,
man.
choosing your partner wisely.
Yeah, exactly. So let me see. We got of course, Neo talking about the trans situation and his stance on it. So, I mean, if you want to touch on that as well, because I know you heard about it. So.
I have. Actually, my husband told me about that one. We're living in a society where everyone is allowed to have an opinion and feelings on something as long as it doesn't go with the narrative. And I think that's the issue in itself. Not necessarily what he said, but the fact that he has an opinion and he's allowed to have that. I saw, or at least heard of, the post he made afterwards saying that he needs to, he apologized for being insensitive and he needs to learn and grow in some way. But again, having an opinion, especially if it's not, I guess, necessarily inciting harm, I don't think that's an issue. Everyone should have an opinion in a way they feel about something without always having to apologize for it. I mean, even comedians are apologizing for their jokes within their monologues, which is ridiculous. I mean, some of them are getting slapped on stage. Like, we need to get back to the society where people can have an opinion and we just roll our eyes at them. We don't have to always agree or disagree or fight them if we disagree with their opinion. And words are not violence. If somebody disagrees with you, let them go on their merry way and live your life the way you can, the best way you can. It says women are really angry at Neo because he's moved on from his ex-wife. I mean, what is he supposed to do? I mean, they're not together. I believe they're officially divorced. I mean, he has 7 kids. Like, he's still going to be.
He got 5 boys and 2 girls. He said.
Yeah, he did. So, I mean, he has that many kids. He has enough to do. Like, your opinions aren't necessarily going to affect his pockets in his day-to-day life.
Right.
So he's already moved on. They've been pretty much separated for like a year, and
it's been a while.
He likes women, so let him live his life and leave him alone.
Yeah. But see, they wanted him to be like that song that he used to sing a long time ago. I'm so sick of love songs. So that's what they want him to be like right now.
Just in the corner crying over when got it.
No more anniversaries and stuff like that. That's what they want.
I like that song. It was actually on the radio not too long ago. But that's the thing. After all these, it seems like these celebrities moved on really fast, but that's not the case. We're just now hearing about it. They've been broken up for probably 2 years, or at least for the last 3 years. So,
they've been done.
Yeah, we heard about it a month ago, but they've been going through it for the last 3 years. How are we supposed to know? We're just, people living our own lives. We don't know what's going on in their day to day.
I wouldn't found out about it if people hadn't told me. So
exactly, I didn't know he had 7 kids, so he said something. So that's how you really know we're far removed, from these people's lives.
Yeah. Only thing I want to hear about Neo is another song. I don't care about his personal life.
Oh, he did have another song come out. You should look it up. It's really good.
Dude, the last song I heard of Neo was "All I Want to Be Is a Good Man, Good Man." That's all I want to hear. That's all I be hearing.
Hey,
I know that's old.
What's your favorite Neo song?
Ooh.
You asking me or her?
Both of y'all.
I kind of like "One in a Million."
That's a good song. Yeah, I have to agree.
It's not too much going on. It's like kind of a groovy song. I like that one. But what's that song? Love Song. I heard that too many times. I like it, but when you hear a song too much, you like it a little less. Unless it's Aaliyah. I listen to her songs a million times and never get sick of them.
Oh my God, yes, Aaliyah.
She's my favorite artist.
Yeah, she's gorgeous and she can sing and dance. She was everything. I think if she was still alive, she would have been one of the top, like kind of like in Beyonce status. She would have been up there. That's what I think.
Oh,
Hey, Swag. Oh, Swag fell off by mistake. He's coming.
okay. But no, that's the only artist I've listened to on a consistent basis. But I go to 90s R&B just on a regular monthly basis. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Neo, good artist. You know, he has his stuff going on in his personal life. But again, opinions in itself, everybody should have one and kind of stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not being able to stand on your own thoughts and opinions, I think, is part of the problem nowadays.
But why is it okay, Brienne, for them to have their opinion and say and do what they want to do, but nobody else can have an opinion? Why is that?
That's dangerous. Where you can have an opinion as long as it goes with the narrative, and that's a problem. Everybody should be able to respectfully disagree. Now, if you don't have a certain amount of information to talk about something, like if you're not a medical doctor giving medical advice, of course, don't do that. You can give your own personal opinion, like this worked for me. Like even when I talk about childbirth, me having a great experience doesn't mean everyone does. But if you were going to be more calm in the experience, it could only help. But also refer you to your doctor, you know? But it seems like they're trying to critique him in a way as if everybody's a specialist in something. And I think that's an issue too. Like unless he talked to a specialist and the specialist told him, I guess whatever he was describing is like scientifically wrong, I think that's different. He just doesn't agree with what certain people agree with, and that's the problem. And I think that is also a problem.
Agreed.
With everybody, but that doesn't mean I hate them for their opinions.
I wanted to add on to what Brienne was saying. It seems like a lot of people are using the Israeli method, as I should say, where if you get what I'm saying, the Israeli method, where you can't say certain things because if you're certain things, you're anti-Israeli. And I think the alphabet people took a page out of their book when as far as it comes to bullying people's opinion, because we all remember back in 2007 when the alphabet people wanted to wear, they wanted to have same gender marriages or whatever. None of us had a problem with that. But like how your grandmother say, you give somebody an inch, they take a mile. Fast forward to 2023. Now you want this stuff taught in schools. You want it to be, you want to send subliminal messages through cartoons. You want to have drag read books to my children. You want them to be able to go into the same bathroom.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it goes to show you that it's about power and control. It has nothing to do about equality. They're just masking. Yep, they're masking it behind that. If you oppose to this, you must be anti-alphabet. No, I'm not anti-alphabet. When in reality, you all are anti-masculinity because they're slowly trying to drain masculinity from the dominant society. Killer, you remember when we was coming up, dude? What do we have? If we wasn't watching black movies with a black man as the main character, still we had Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. Yep. We had Steven Seagal movies. Yep. We had the Terminator,
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone.
We was getting up watching X-Men on
X-Men, Power Rangers.
Spider-Man, the old school Batman from the 90s.
Yeah, the old school Batman. Hell, even Batman Beyond, too. Like, we was watching all of that, yo. Like, I'm just saying, like...
They have a new one coming out.
Oh, yeah, Ninja Turtles, too, man.
Ninja Turtles as well.
That was on a Saturday morning. Ninja Turtles came on.
Saturday morning coming out, and it looks horrible. You should look at it'll make you upset.
I saw that commercials. I don't want to see that.
And now
you don't want to see what?
In traditional
the new Ninja Turtles
we watch.
Oh, Mutant Mayhem. How is it? Anybody saw it yet?
I'm not going to
watch. Commercial, and I was highly disappointed.
Even traditional shows that we watch, now they're trying to add, alphabet characers in there.
Oh, so, I couldn't do that.
I mean, that's nothing new when you think about it. It wasn't as pushed.
What'd you say?
The new Rugrats. Remember
I only watched that.
Phil and Lil's mom. You remember she had a dad, but she's divorced now, and she's also Jihei.
Oh no, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, like I want to say something.
Rugrats, man.
They're trying way too hard to like force that woke stuff on.
Yeah, but they're
trying to
doing it with
force
our
you to
old
accept it.
cartoons and stuff. It's like, no,
But
I
they're
can't
doing it
rock
not
with
just
that,
with
yo.
cartoons, but even with like sitcom shows and TV shows. Every time I watch a TV show, there's always like, surprise, this main character is Jihei.
Or
They
it's
are
black.
trying way too hard, and I actually think I agree with 18 Letter. It's like it's a power move because I think the political party is like, okay, we're gonna get these voters and we're gonna use the alphabet community, so we're gonna give them a little bit of leeway and power, and that would get them to vote in their favor if you got laws being made for them, TV shows kind of like exposing, trying to get people to accept this sexuality and all this stuff. But it's kind of annoying that it's being literally forced down people's
Can I
throats.
chime in something real quick,
Let me
Leo?
say something real quick.
I wanted to add this. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Husky. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I want to add this. And speaking of Power Rangers, did you know with the new Power Rangers Dino Fury, Izzy the Green Ranger is also GA? That's the first time we've ever seen that. And she's in a relationship with a woman. Of all 30 years of watching Power Rangers, never thought I'd see that happen, but it actually happened.
And on the side note,
watching for 30 years.
I haven't been watching Power Rangers since Tommy left.
Yeah, I swear I was just gonna say on the side note, when we was coming up, we was used to the Green Ranger serving them up.
Yeah, the Green Ranger or the White Ranger, man. Them was my favorite Rangers, man. Oh my God. Every time I was in a Power Ranger in school, I was like, no, I gotta be the Green Ranger. I like the shield he had.
I had the Dragon Dagger as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm mad at
Kimberly or Trini. But the crazy part is that I liked Aisha. When Aisha came, I liked Aisha, but that was it. After Aisha left, that's when I stopped watching it. Like
the newer ones was cool. Don't get me wrong, but I always got a thing for Jason and Zach and Trini, man. Those was the OGs, man. Like I liked Aisha too, and Rocky and Amber
and Billy.
Yeah, Billy. Yeah. Oh, but Billy and them, they stayed throughout the whole thing up until like Turbo,
Turtles.
And RZA is right. He did throw them out the Megazord.
Yeah.
He was whooping them left and
right.
Tommy
was the only one that gave the Power Rangers that worked throughout the whole show, man. Like he went in the Megazord and took them out and beat the crap out of them. And then when Rita made him big, he beat up the Megazord. I'm like, oh man.
I love Rita. Rita was funny, like especially in the beginning. After 10,000 years, I'm free.
Right.
It's time to conquer Earth.
Yeah, man.
And then 1 year later, we get Lord Zed.
Right. Yeah, but
1 year later, we get Lord Zed.
But 18th letter, you remember like, rise, my Green Ranger, rise.
Yep, I remember that.
I love that, man.
And when they was in their personal life at the school, Tommy just had that evil look. He was checking them left and right, like, man, y'all ain't gonna do nothing after we get up out of here.
Man. And then, but 18th though. Remember when Kimberly came up to him and told him like, I know you're the Green Ranger, and Tommy put that machine down and looked at it like, it ain't nothing you can do about it either. I'm just gonna wipe out the rest of the Power Rangers.
Welcome, Pink Ranger. You should know that you and the other Rangers will soon be destroyed. Rita is my empress, and she will soon rule the world.
And walked off like Bishop on Juice too.
Yeah, man. Like he didn't care. Man, Tommy gave all of them that work, man. I don't care, man.
He gave.
But
rest in peace to Tommy too.
Remember Adam, y'all? Y'all remember Adam when he came?
Adam. Yeah, I remember Adam.
Adam and them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was cool too. I liked him.
But nothing beat the original though. Nothing beat the original.
No, Go Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin. It was called, right?
That's why I had to check out that new special that they had, that Once and Always, because it had somewhat of the original cast in there.
Yeah,
they had like
Rita came back as an android or robot or whatever, cyborg, whatever she was.
They had Zach come back, Billy came back. I mean, of course, they didn't have Jason come back because he's dealing with legal issues. And they had, of course, Trini couldn't come back because she has since passed away since 2001.
And you know what?
Yeah, so
I like how they incorporated that. I like how they incorporate that into the story, because according to the story, they say Rita killed her some years ago, sometime before her daughter was born. And her daughter found out, and now she's destroyed. So I like how they put that in the story.
Her daughter was alive when Rita supposedly took her out. Because remember when Zach and Billy was trying to find a way to tell her, and she overheard it, and she was so distraught.
Yeah, that was super dope. And I say that to say this, man, because now it's an attack on masculinity within everything that's going on. And like I love the ladies. I'm not trying to throw the ladies under the bus, but it was some ladies that teamed up with the alphabet people, thinking that, you know, to go against they own men. And this is the end result of it now, because and the funny thing about it is that the same women that teamed up with the alphabet people, like, oh, you know, they can, if they want to be women, they can be women, and y'all are alphabet phobic and all of that. Now these same people, fast forward 10 years later, is that where's the real men? What happened to the real men? And all of this other stuff. People don't realize how they actions affect. And then now you got the transmissions in the alphabet space trying to push
it. Like you know how they complain that like men aren't like masculine no more. Well, that's their fault for pushing this trans community into the mainstream. It's like now you're seeing it all over, where you got men that are like effeminate. So it's like it's a trickle down effect.
For those of you who haven't seen that yet, make sure you guys say spoiler alert for certain shows, because some people haven't seen those series yet.
What series?
Oh,
what series?
Power Rangers, what you guys were talking
a couple spoiler alerts. So the Power Rangers actually.
We didn't spoil anything.
Huh?
Man, if they ain't see the Power Rangers by now, they'd have missed out.
Power Rangers are years old, Brian.
That's
an old spoiler.
The episode with Jason, like I just saw that maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then the other, so I'd only heard about it from my husband, I think. So
all right, we're not gonna talk about it no more. We don't want to spoil anything more for Brianne.
You were too young to remember. I get it. You were too young to remember. You?
She's my age. We literally grew up on Power Rangers.
That was my jam. I know exactly.
You were born in 91. The show came out in 93. So that's a 2 year after you were born. So.
Wow, Power Rangers was out like in 97, 98. That's when I was catching
I remember.
Power Rangers came out
in
93,
space.
94 though.
That's when it came out.
Because that's when I was
in elementary school.
Yeah.
But back then we were watching them because we had all of the like VHS tapes.
Yeah. I remember I made my mama get me some VHS tapes of the Power Ranger, but I always got the green with evil series.
We get them. Yeah.
I got that on DVD.
Oh my God, you aged the heck out of me.
And not to get off subject, y'all, but I gotta ask everybody a question on the panel. Am I the only one that missed watching them previews on the VHSs when
yeah.
Man. I do too, man. Like that took me back, yo. Yeah, like
the previews.
Right when you pop the tape in, it shows like certain shows about to come out or some movies and stuff like that before you get to the actual show or the movie.
And then you used to hear the man's voice when the main movies come. And now for our feature presentation.
Yes.
And you know what? They still do that to this day, only on YouTube, with them annoying ads that pop up in between videos, before or after videos. So it's still going on, just in a different way.
They do that in movie
YouTube Premium.
They what now?
You gotta get YouTube Premium.
That costs too much. The hell with that. Ain't that serious?
$10 is too much.
I got bills, buddy, just like you do.
So do I, but I pay my bills on time. So.
I do too.
When you have a lot of subscriptions adding up, it's more than just the $10.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, but that's the whole purpose of managing money. Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of Nickelodeon movies had the orange tape though. Like it wasn't even just Rick Rugrats though.
This conversation, go to Power Rangers. You know what, Kevin? Right.
But yeah, like and with us reminiscing on those days, we can remember growing up. Men was men and girls was girls. Boys was boys and girls was girls.
And here's something else to think. I don't mean to cut you. Here's something else to think about. Look at Power Rangers. Look at all these other superhero shows. The Justice League. They had male characters. They had female characters. They were strong. They were strong characters.
Right.
These women were strong. They were tough. They were independent. But you know what they had? They had femininity, and it went hand in hand with the men's masculinity. Kimberly, the sexiest Pink Ranger I've ever seen. Her and Trini were the feminine ones in the group, while everybody else was the masculine one. It's like Bad Thing. Everybody played their roles. The men were masculine. The women were feminine. Fast forward to more modern times, you don't see that as more often. I'm gonna say for the last 10 years, you don't see that often in superhero shows. You got women trying to outdo men, and don't get me started with the Warrior Queen or whatever they call that, the Warrior King,
Woman
whatever
King,
Woman King, whatever that was. Oh,
or
God.
what about Black Panther 2 with Shuri? Like, I was just mad. I was like, y'all should have just recasted the Black Panther actor, because it was like such a weak portrayal of leadership, because Shuri, one, she wasn't ready for it, and two, she didn't even know what she was doing. So I'm like, why didn't you guys just recast another strong male lead? Because rest in peace, Chad Boswick. He was a great he was a great example of like Black male leadership. At least I think him and Killmonger were like two great examples.
Yeah, either in my opinion, they should have either just recasted, not Killmonger, but Black Panther. They should either recast him or just not made the movie at all.
Yeah, but the media is like they're so determined to promote this women empowerment thing, and I think it's really messing society up, because it's like, okay, you can do that, but do you got to make the men look weak and like stupid, like to make the women look like smart?
Of course they do.
And I said I was on another channel. Oh, I'm sorry, Leo. I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother.
I just want to say this because this reminded me of the Umbrella Academy, and you had this one black chick, right? And she went back in time to the civil rights moment. And none of the men really knew how to like get together and organize. And it's in the 70s, right? That's like the peak of Black male movement. And it wasn't until the women came in and stepped in to kind of like help the men that they got it together. And I'm like, that's not how it should go. Like,
no, it's
in
not.
real life,
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Right? Yeah, in real life, you had the Black Panthers, and you had female Black Panthers who contributed in their own way, right? They were the teachers, right? They were the nurses, right? They were the educators that kind of helped the movement in their own way. So they helped just like the men. So they didn't, do this thing to where they made the men look incompetent and weak to make the female look strong and capable. And you're seeing this a lot with all these social justice warrior things, like the Matrix, like Matrix 4. I was like, why the hell did they remake? Why the hell did they remake this thing just to make Trinity the one?
Yeah,
I didn't even watch that movie.
I didn't watch it either. And see, here's the thing, man. This has been going on for a long time because black male leadership and black male masculinity, just like it scares white people, it scares some of the women in our community too. They've been so used and so brainwashed into seeing they feel like they have control over black men. They feel like they have power over black men. And just like I said earlier, the fact when they say black male leadership, what they really want black men to do is get in line behind the women, and you co-sign everything the women say. And if I turn around and I make a mistake, then you just clean up my mistake. That's exactly what they mean. They don't want black men in positions.
18, they did that with Ice Cube when he was trying to do stuff for literally the whole black community.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And that's the thing. If you notice with some of these women, when these women talk about businesses and different things, every other community, if a woman is involved in business, anything like that, they help their men. When certain women within our community have businesses, it's just specifically for black women. But as a black man, you can't barely have a business specifically for black men. You have to include everyone. When the women on the opposite end don't include black men in any of their businesses at all. Some of these women within our community look at themselves as a separate group. They look at themselves as a separate group, and they look at men within our community as nothing but to procreate with, to either have daughters or sons that they can emasculate, and they look at them as useless outside of that, or as a tag dog.
You was dropping bombs, bro. I had to
oh man, there, bro. Thank you for that, Swag. But
impressive.
And they don't look at us as nothing but attack dogs, and like that's why you see these simps and everything. They quick to jump in the line of fire when it comes to, you know, especially if they was raised to think off rip to think of like. And then the funny thing is with a lot of these simps, they don't even like you can say, you know, you can kiss a lot of these women's behinds until you blue in the face. It ain't gonna get you nowhere. It ain't got you nowhere. And then no matter how much, that's how you know it's about control. No matter how much you try to say to you, look, I love black women. I'm a black man. I come from black women. Black women this, black women that. It's just like, okay, yeah, that's what you're supposed to be saying. Good. And then like and men been trying to put all women on a pedestal, but you know what it is for some of them women, they pedestal ain't on the same range as a white woman. That's how they feel. So they don't feel like it's worth anything.
Yeah, like 18th letter, I'm seeing some of that stuff in real life. Like, you know, because I got my ish together. I've had some women just intimidated by that and think, oh, if I get with you, you're probably gonna try to control me. I'm like, why would you even think that just because I got my stuff together? And like I'm seeing that like when certain women like date you and you got your ish together and you don't really need them for nothing, they feel intimidated by that because they was like they don't have no control over that situation. They can't.
That's why they purposely. What you're saying, Leo, is the same thing I've experienced myself. Man, I'm involved in truck driving. I own my own home. I got everything going. You have women who purposely pick men because of they can if he's not financially he's not financially you know in order and everything like that, they can pick him because of the fact that I can tell you to get out my house. I can tell you to give me the keys to my car. I can you know I can do all of this stuff. When a man has everything together, you can't come at me like that. You know, so that's exactly what you're going to be experiencing. But then at the same time, a lot of those women like to fall back and say, oh, you know what, I did this. They try to lie and they try to come up with an excuse and say they was trying to help him up. They was trying to help him be a better man. But in reality, you picked him for the fact that he was a lesser man and you was able to control that. And to see they can fall back on that because they can fall back on the victim trope on I tried to be you know, a woman that tried to help him get his ish together and all of that. But that's not why they picked him to begin with. So
yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said, but I will also add this. A man that does have all of his stuff together has standards. And most women never had to fall under a man's standards before. There are certain things I know I would never do because my husband will not let that fly. I think on this particular panel, we talked about the way I dress. Like I'm not going outside pretty much wearing lingerie to, you know, be seen. My husband would never let that fly. I'm not going to have male friends because he's not going to cut that. You know what I mean? So even on these panels, I'm like, I have these discussions, but I know good and darn well there are certain things I would never say to embarrass my family, and there's certain things I would never do because, you know, it'd be on and popping if I did something like that. And we talk about, you know, the way I dress and the way I speak a lot because those are two things that were very important to him because he had other relationships where those weren't important to those women. So yeah, if you know your man is gonna have a standard with something, and I mean it's a clear cut, like as soon as you do this, like we're done, like you don't do it. But women don't have that. They want a guy that's gonna agree with other bad decisions.
Allow me to play devil's advocate for a second, if you don't mind me, Bree. Allow me to play devil's advocate. Don't let your husband tell you what to do, what to wear, how to dress, and how to act. You do you, my girl. You're a strong, independent woman. You can do it all by yourself. You don't need that man telling you what to do. Do you, my girl? Do you?
But honestly, Hustler, no, Brienne, like online, I would see all the time when a woman shows off that she's cooking and cleaning for her husband. You got women in the chat saying, girl, why you doing that for that dude? Make him get his own plate and all this stuff. So they're even railing against that of just, serving a man and just being submissive to him and letting him lead. So it's like you're saying you want leadership, but yet you're rallying against it too. So it's just like 18th Later said, like they actually want to be the one in control, not the other way around. And they have this fear that if the man has all his shit together and he can basically have more standards, like you said, Brienne, then they're not going to put up with that woman's ish. And women don't like that. When you're a black man and you say you got just even a little bit, you could just say, I won't date masculine women. They'll try to fight you and argue you down about that. I won't date a woman that got multiple kids by multiple daddies. Like I was watching the other day, a brother, basically getting publicly embarrassed because he said he didn't want to take a single mother seriously because he didn't have no kids and he wanted to repeat the cycle that his mother did.
Yep, I saw that video. That was despicable.
Right. So this is what I mean. It's like they're pitting us against each other, and it's making our whole community look messed up.
You know what? I give you a perfect example. They don't have a problem with men having standards. They have a problem with black men having standards.
Yeah,
because a lot of our women, they've come to look at us, like I said before, I've said on previous live streams, no less than a white supremacist, because those same women, they'll bend over backwards for a man of another race, and that's the thing that they're not saying. When you look at, I gotta find this statistic, this actual stat, but when you look at this one particular statistic, women within our community have 1.5 million children out of wedlock from non-black men. You get what I'm saying? Even when, let's take the divestors, for example, and some of these sick women on here, they would gather around a bottom shelf Brad. Now here we came up in the hood. We got to make sure our Jordans is right. We got to make sure we got on Pelly leathers and Avarex leathers, and we 6'2" and 6'3", and
don't forget having a lineup fresh, man.
Oh yeah, you got to have that lineup fresh, and preferably waves. So and you got to come correct like that. But that same woman that you got to do all of that for will go around and be with a bottom shelf Brad that don't look like anything. You should see some of the comment section. Like, for instance, black men have been uplifting our women for a long time. Let Brad come into play, and he says that same stuff. All that comment section will light up.
Oh, 18th letter. Look at how black women lately have been fighting so hard against passport bros. I'm like, why are y'all constantly talking about it? It's only like a minority of brothers actually doing that. And even if then, they're grown men. Let them do what they want. That's their money. That's their life. Why are you constantly trying to shame them into not dating out or not going to the other country to find something new?
Yeah, we might have to make that to another show or something. We might have to make that to another show or something. But that's a whole lot to unpack right there.
That is ridiculous.
Let me say this. As far as the passport bros are concerned, I spoke with Chantel Simone on this. You know what I find very ironic is that they will say men are going overseas to find better women because they can't handle the independent women. They need to stay out here in the West because there are so many single women, so many black women to choose from. But what's ironic is that when we stay out here in the United States or whatever, pick a beautiful black woman, wife her up, have kids by her. You know what they're going to do? They're going to shame that same black woman that they told us to stay out here in the West for. Look at Brienne, for example. Her husband stayed in the West for her, wifed her up, got a kid by her. Look at the backlash she gonna get. Melanie, your time gonna come. You gonna get the same backlash from the same black women telling us men to stay out here in the West for y'all. So it's a shit show. I'm sorry.
Well, in Brienne's case, though, her husband had known her ever since they was young, though. So they got
and that's the best way to meet somebody. That's the best way to connect with somebody. Childhood friendships.
But also, I feel like people are going to shame you regardless. The problem being, though, if you don't choose your person wisely, again, my husband's chosen, others in the past, and it's very telling the way he operates with me. Like, he's very knowledgeable just because of what he went through. But it is different with a woman. We become very closed off and our wall goes up when we've been hurt enough. I went through, like I said, one heartbreak, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. I'm going to choose wisely. I'm not going to continue to go that path. And I would much rather to tell her girls, like, don't waste your years on someone who does not want a commitment. Like, I always wanted marriage, I always wanted kids. You know, it was always like, well, I'm young and want to go have my fun. Well, I'm right here. You said I'm the one you want to be with, but you want to go out and have your fun too? No. It should have been clear done then, but I was so clear on I'm a good woman. He's going to stay just because I'm a good woman, and that wasn't the case. We were in the 20s. He wanted to go have his fun. They said, okay, you go have your fun. And then his thing was, well, if we got old enough, you know, then I'll wife you up then. I'm like, I don't want to be a 35-year-old wife. Like, I want to be a I've been told that. Like, I'm going to have my fun, but you're a good woman. I'll come back later. Like, you know, I'm in my 20s.
Like trying to put you on layaway or something. That's messed up.
Yeah. And you know, women do that to men too, you know.
Yes.
Oh, you ain't going to do that to me.
I swear.
Women do that to men.
Once a chick say that to me, it's deuces. Like, cause I can go somewhere else. Like I said, I'm not trying to be the type of dude that toot his own horn, but like I said, I can get women from all walks of life that's always trying to get my attention anyway. So if a girl be like, oh well, I just want to be out here and mess with so and so, I'm like, all right, cool, that's fine. You go ahead and have your fun. But just know when you think you circling back around to come get me, I ain't gonna be there.
Exactly.
If she want to be for the streets, let her be. Plain and simple.
Because like I said, I ain't the type of person that's just gonna be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just wait it out and just hopefully she'll think twice about it and she'll come right back to no. Like, no.
Explore your options, brother. Explore your options.
Man. And I tell that to anybody. Explore your options. Like, if you feel like this person, you really got a deep connection with them and you vibing with them, y'all both like got a lot of stuff in common, y'all both love to talk to each other every single day, stop beating around the bush. Because if you keep doing that, sooner or later somebody gonna come in and take your spot and you're gonna be looking like, damn, why didn't I pull the trigger on that when I had the chance?
Right.
It's like the CTA. They don't wait for anybody. Either get on the ride or you miss the ride.
You ain't lying about that. You said CTA, you out of Chicago Hustler?
Yep.
Okay, same thing here, man. As soon as you said CTA, I'm like, wait, that's Chicago Transit Authority.
Correct. I'm in the suburbs now, but I was born and raised in Chicago.
Me
too. CTA come out here too.
He would have come back with his slip disc and gout.
That's how a lot of dudes be, man.
My family members has gout. It's very uncomfortable. So don't laugh. But
hey, son Kiss, you forgot torn rotator cuff too.
Oh man.
So he can't lift you over the threshold when he marries you.
Oh, thank you, Josh. You're so sweet. Josh said my husband is a lucky man. I appreciate
Oh yeah, you know Josh always show love in the chat, man. Salute to him.
And speaking of Josh, thank you for the $5. What is that? A Cash App?
Cash App. Hold on.
I appreciate you.
Get the Cash App. Baby. And while we at it though, Josh, the homie, sent me a $5 Cash App. So salute to him for that as well, man.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
Let us support.
Yeah.
But yeah, these people, because we both describe men and women who like to put real life people on layaway. You know, we ain't the toys at Toys R Us back in the day. Do not put us on layaway. What happens? We move the toys. In hindsight, I guess I'm glad that happened that one particular time because now I'm married and happy. But if I would have kept in my heart and just sat and waited, I'd still be waiting. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have the family and the life I have now. So I'm grateful for that. But it still hurt in the moment. Like I was 20 years old. My heart was broken. Like, you know, I'm pretty much, you know, just waiting for someone to choose me. And you don't want to wait for someone to choose you. They want you or they don't. Really that simple.
Not only that, you probably would have had the mindset that all women are trash just because of one bad experience. I'm glad you didn't go down that route. I am so proud of you. Mm-hmm. Swag, Melody, toot the horn, please. She deserves that.
Well,
there we go. That's my girl.
That's usually for cash apps or super chats, but we give it to Brienne on that one.
Quick, especially like Melody, that beautiful lipstick over there. When a man snatches you up and he wants you, there will be no question. My husband said when I moved to stay away, he said, "I'm coming there. We're getting married. Are you ready?" And I said, "Yeah." And then that was it. Because I moved away because I wanted to get out of my hometown. And just started a new life somewhere else. Followed me 4 months later. We've been together ever since. So yeah.
Well, that's great to hear.
At all.
That's great to hear, Brienne. I love to hear like-minded people coming together and having families, and they're able to complement each other. Your feminine is able to complement his masculine. Y'all able to make it work and build a family together. Because, man, right now it is rough out here. It ain't no joke out here, boy. I'm trying to figure out was it social media that messed people's minds up? Because you got so many of these women thinking that, and that's another thing too with social media. Certain women get this validation from social media, and it makes them think it's like limited options out there. I'm like, sweetheart, you playing a dangerous game. You rolling. You ain't you're hitting the 7-Eleven right now, but eventually you're gonna hit a Snake Eyes in this crap game. So
man, you know all the Simpson they DMs always be gassing them up, be like, "Oh baby, I love you. I can't get enough for you, girl. I'll pay for your shoes. I'll pay for your car. I'll pay to get your hair done."
Well, here's something I've noticed.
Let me tell you, it's the BBL chicks that's getting flown out. You know what I mean? And they all in their inbox and DMs telling them how beautiful they are when their body is manufactured, like
or flued out.
You
trying to get flued out. Like, I want to see you trying to get flued out.
Models with the fake bodies, and a lot of them even are not even real women. You know what I mean? I heard a lot of those women are like trans women.
Oh, that's a whole nother topic right there.
That's not.
Wow. Did we talk about that in the last stream?
We did mention that on the last Kill Them Sweetly show, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question. This is for anybody on the panel. Do y'all think marriages today is more like a personal goal instead of a personal desire nowadays?
I don't think it's neither.
Brienne, what do you think?
Neither. It's just a checklist item. So if you mean,
I don't even think it's neither. Go ahead, Brienne.
You said checklist. First of all,
boom, check. You know, boom, got my lemonade from the store. I got married today. You know what I mean? I got my new shoes. Like, it's just a checklist item. Nothing about it for most people just seems exciting, because even the wedding day itself, it's a busy, long day. It's fun. But after that, then what do you guys do? How do you work together? If you focus less on the wedding, more on the life you're going to spend with that person, things get really real, and people don't think that far.
And that's the problem.
The wedding can take a year, 2 years.
That's the problem, man.
What did you all think of the video of the man? He was with his wife, and when the person that was marrying him said that, "Do you promise?"
I know what he about to talk about. I know what you about to talk about.
Respect your husband.
Obey.
He said, obey your husband. Yeah.
And she stood there, froze, like, I ain't doing that.
Yeah. And he laughed it off. I'm like, this ain't a joke.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's literally in the vows, bro. And she looking like, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Did they get married? Because I remember that one. It was like a Caucasian woman and a black.
No, it was black dude. It was a black dude and a black woman.
Yeah, it was a black dude
and a black woman. Yeah. Oh,
it was very recent.
It was from 90 Day Fiance, because I thought I saw that clip.
I don't even think it went on a TV show. I think somebody had recorded that when they was at the church, and they did a close up of her face when the preacher was asking, "Do you love, honor, and obey?" And then when he said obey, her head lifted up so fast, she was like, "Huh?" She had the shaggy face on Scooby Doo, like Shreggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's what makes it crazy, right? Because they say they want male leadership, but when you're at your wedding and you got to say the vow to love, honor, and obey, they're like, what? I gotta obey him.
Yeah, love, honor, cherish, and obey. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I said in my vows. And when you're with the right person, I didn't even think of it that way. Like, yeah, I'm gonna love, honor, and obey my husband.
I had to I had to explain this like to a female. Like, if a man like wants to marry you and he got his ish together, that means that man wants to have a family with you and build a life with you. And more than likely that man has your best interests at heart, not just his own, yours as well. It's not a control thing. And I'm saying like a lot of young women, they look at it as it's a come up for men to control them. But I'm like, no, it's a come up for y'all because y'all just look at it as, like Brianna was saying, just something off your checklist. You know, you got your little fancy wedding day, you post pictures on IG, and now you good. Like most marriages now, they only last in what, 2-5 years?
Yeah.
So
let me say this.
It's coming obsolete.
And let me say that it ain't so much women don't want leadership. They want leadership only when it benefits them. So yeah, they want the leadership and the masculinity only when they need it most. So yeah, that's the sad thing about it. That's why she was flabbergasted by the whole obedience part. Now I gotta obey somebody. Oh boy. Yeah, she wants that, but only when it's time to do some masculine things.
Yeah, something, or she needs something fixed. But the problem is, if he says, you know what, again, I've said this example a few times, no, we're not going to Target today. We have other things to pay for. There's going to be a fight and an argument. Well, I work hard. I need to do this and yada, yada. And that's when both him and I were working at the very beginning of our marriage. Now that I'm not working at all, I think it's very important to be like, okay, you handle the finances. But of course, if there are things I want from Target, if I want to go get something, you know, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to coupon. I'm going to find it cheaper anyways. So I think it's important when you are choosing, or when a man is choosing you, for him to also know what you like and what you desire.
Yeah, and think of it like this. It's a come up for women because what do women get from a husband? Provision, protection. They get provision. They get companionship. They get protection. They get financial stability. What do we men get from a wife? Companionship. A legal sex partner, if you could think of it like that. Someone we can smash while it being religiously legal. You know, something that's nowadays not even required to, that doesn't even require a marriage. So yeah, women are getting the most out of it.
Well, that you could only get, you know, intimacy if you were married, because women help that standard up. Like, you're not getting any of this until you put a ring on it. Now a guy can go get it without having to marry someone. So I think that
all right.
Thanks to the women's liberation, yep, it ruined everything.
Yeah. Hustler.
What up, swag?
It's time for final thoughts for real this time. So
hey, y'all did all that swinging it around stuff.
Hey man, you know, like this is a good flowing conversation. I don't really want to stop this, but at the same time, Melody has to go to work and then I have to go jump into the shower in a little bit. So I want everybody to get their final thoughts out right now. So let's start out with the homie Blue, since he just came up here. Let's see what he got to say so that he could dive into the conversation, because I don't want to leave him out of the equation. He just came up, and then of course after that we got the homegirl Brianne. She could give her takes, and then Hustler or Muscular, you do yours. Rakim, aka 18th letter, you could take it from there. Then Leo, you after him, and then of course it's me, and then of course last but certainly not least, Melody will be the one to close the show. So go ahead and kick this off, Blue.
What's up? What's up? Peace to the panel. That was interesting what y'all was saying about the marriage and obeying. Also, he had a great point. He said that you know, if a man is, you know, structure, and I would like to say use the word structure instead of control. You know what I mean? Trying to structure things, and he's what did you say? What's the name? Is benefiting the female?
Yeah, I said like the man will look out for everybody's best interest, not just his own. Women are thinking that the men are only looking at it as, I'm doing this to control you. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm doing this to look out for my family that I'm creating with you's interests, not just my own.
Correct. Yeah. You had a good point with that. I agree with that one right there. And I think a lot of people don't understand. Again, I don't want to use the word control. I'd rather use the word structure, because that's what we be doing. We're structuring things for the future. We're structuring things to be in place for if we dead and gone. There's a structure. You know what I'm saying? There's been a structure put in place. And that's what people don't understand. They only understand when, God forbid, if things happen and they get to understand what that structure was, what that man was actually doing the whole time.
Facts.
Yeah, but Lou, you see, I think our women are being programmed to fight against any black male leadership they see, because when they hear certain words, they're taboo words like obey, submission, marriage. I have to do what you say. They don't like that stuff, and they will immediately think that you're trying to control them. It's like a knee-jerk reaction when they hear those words.
That's why I said structure instead of saying control. So I think a lot of things, I think I said this before on the show, a lot of things is wordplay. It's a lot of wordplay. People don't change up their words, and that plays a big part in a lot of things. The wordplay, the definition of that word. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people say words and they don't understand how they fall into a certain definition because of what the word actually means. And that's the biggest game in America, was word games, switching the words around, having one word with 4 different meanings. That don't make any sense. That's confusing. That's just to confuse a person.
You got a point there.
Yeah, that's true. I literally heard. I got a female friend right now that talk about she don't like people all up in her business and checking up on her and shit like that. I'm like, whatever, do whatever you want to do. I don't give a damn. When it's my time, it's my time. When it's our time, it's our time. So I've learned over the years, treat people accordingly. She don't want to be in no structured environment where the man is in charge. Let her just deal with her accordingly. I've been doing that for 20 years of my life. Deal with certain females accordingly. Just know she ain't no wifey qualified woman. She just
exactly.
I'm not gonna say she for the streets necessarily. She may be treasured trash, as I like to call it. She's not for the streets, but at the same time, she ain't for the relationship. I've met women like that many times, many women like that. She ain't for the streets, but at the same time, she ain't no commitment type either. So treat him accordingly.
It's funny you say that, because I was telling him, well, he was telling me about his situation, and I'm like, yo, your lady, she's not for you. Like, is she not trying to please you? So why are you in a relationship with her? She don't, you know what I mean? Brienne, I remember you was on here. You said what she said before. She makes sure her man is full of some shit.
She said full and empty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Some females don't acknowledge that, and they disregard that, and they don't, that plays a problem in the relationship. I told him.
Bingo.
Because if she don't want to take care of you, what's gonna make you want to take care of her?
Exactly.
So it creates a different balance in a relationship. Now it's like, damn, you doing this, you doing that, but you know what I mean? I gotta that shit crazy.
Give and take.
Yeah. And here's another thing. Like the woman that I'm dealing with, talking about she don't like me all up in her business. She want to be free. I told her you can do what you want, but at the same time, you better give me the same kind of respect, okay? You want to deal with other men, let me deal with other women. And we haven't had that issue since then. So we kind of discussed it. I say you got to be open-minded and honest. And based on what Blue was saying, I don't think homegirl that he dealing with was honest about her intentions. There was no honesty or communication between those two. That's probably what the problem was. At least with my female friend, we had some honesty and communication. It wasn't there at first, but I'm like, I ain't dealing with you on that level. No. I ghosted her for a month and she suddenly cooperated.
I think with my boy, his problem, he allowed certain things to go on so long. to where his girl she thinks it's normal. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So when you allow people think it's normal and they think that's the norm. When being in a relationship, that is not the norm. Obviously, right, Bree?
Correct. I think
so. She's a definition of a female explaining like that is not the norm. You have to make sure your man's good. Why you gotta make sure he's good? Because it's like a necessity. It's like y'all hair. It's like y'all weave. Like you know what I'm saying?
No, taking care of your man is important, and a lot of women don't listen to me when I say that because I am a stay-at-home wife and mom. They think I only do it because of this, and no, I've been doing this since the start of our marriage. Learning more about him, watching his routine, buying him things accordingly, or just making sure I set up things so that his life is easier because it just makes me happy. Making him happy makes me happy. So I hate the idea that when I'm talking to women now, just because of the way things are great now, they think it was always this way. And no, we both worked like over 40 hours at the start of our marriage. And, we saw each other in passing sometimes. And the way we set up our life is to spend more time together and make each other's lives better. And that was always the goal. That's why I say choosing your person wisely, especially if you're both going to be financially savvy and work towards the same goals. Because a lot of times I see relationships where one person is a spender, the other's a saver. Boom, the relationship is already doomed to fail if that's the case. At the same time, one person, for the most part, needs to take over full reign of the finances so that neither person gets off track and the other person can hold them accountable. So, yeah, even though my husband makes the majority of the money, I do budget, but we talk about everything that's spent. So, yeah, but he has the final say because someone has to have the final say. If two people have the final say, it's like two leaders and it doesn't work. So if I want to go to Target and spend, $300 on something, and he agrees it may be a good idea, but I have to wait, well, then we're waiting, and that's what happens. Yeah, let's go piano.
Because
huh?
No, and like you say, you may have to wait because of the structure. Mm-hmm. He's not saying no, we can't do it. You know what I mean? He just like based on the structure. We can't do it right now. Mm-hmm. But that way bills and things don't overlap. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That way you don't spend too much this week and now next week we short on the rent. We shouldn't be short on the rent. Like we shouldn't be short on the rent.
Because he just wanted to make sure the bills were handled for the next week.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Structure.
1 week.
When your car break down, you ain't getting nowhere. Your car break down, you got no money to fix it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we kept
it. Then you gotta have that emergency money. Like we gotta, now to go get that from Target, it ain't an emergency. We don't want to touch the emergency money, but not this check. We're gonna pay the bills on the next check. We'll have some money to free to go do that. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, it's just communication.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful panel. Thank you and good night. I'll see you guys next Sunday, right?
Yeah, next Sunday.
Next Sunday, my Bree.
Can't wait to see you there. And remember, Bree, when you come, have 2 topics to talk about.
Okay. I will think
good night, my love.
Good night.
Good night, love.
See you, Bria.
It's always a pleasure having Brianne. I love her sweet, attitude, and
she's fun.
Very woman. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Fire. Shout out to
fun.
Brianne.
Yeah. Hopefully we can see you come through on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Blue, was you finished, or you still got more to say?
No, I'm finished.
Oh, okay. I was just saying I could just let you get the floor to face what you had to say, but
No, pretty much. I mean, pretty much that was it. It just, it's about structure. It's about structure. Because a person could have structure, and if the other one don't have structure, they could be fucking the whole structure up. Pardon my French.
That sounds like something my father would have said a long time ago. So yeah.
What's that?
Structure.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, you know, I come from, the family I come from, and majority of the men in my family took care of their family. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've seen my uncle have a family, raise his family, and the structure that he had. There, everybody's well off. You know what I mean? And I look at a lot of my family that's married and they got kids. So that's what I see in my life. I believe marriage and having kids can work if the structure's right.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If the structure's right, it'll work. There's no, we can't afford it. Like, there's no such thing as not being able to afford a family if the structure's right. Communication is right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People spend money what they want to spend money on. People don't sacrifice. You know what I mean? Having a family is just sacrificing. A man can have money, got the structure right. And then when he got a kid, he has the money. He sacrificed not to go waste money and do certain things throughout his life. So when he does get in that situation, it's smooth sailing for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's smooth sailing. There's no not being able to do something.
True.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's no, I can't buy Pampers. I can't. That's people that had their structures different. Their priorities is messed up. That's why they can't do this, do that, because their priorities and their structures different.
Absolutely. All right, well, thanks for that final thought, Blue.
All right, just cut me off. Okay, thank you.
Hey, you still have more?
I'm finished. You saw that, Killer? Well, thanks for your final thought.
I'm tired, yeah.
Yo, what that mean? That mean you finished.
Right, yeah. Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up. That's what you said.
Right. Thanks for your final thought. Next.
Right. Next.
Well, thank you, Miss Sweet Melly. I'm gonna get out of here.
You don't gotta leave yet, but thank you for that.
Salute to you, Blue, man. That was a hell of a good take, though, my nigga. That was a good take.
Was a little long-winded, but he got it out. What he had to say.
I'm gonna go to a show where they'll let me talk.
Oh man.
You said what you had to say. It sounded really good too.
Okay, you too. That's enough. All right.
Hey, Killer. She said I'm long-winded. Yeah, I'm gonna go on here for how many hours?
Hey.
Don't worry, it's a lot of people that's long-winded.
There you go. You know I ain't one of them, so hey.
Nah.
But yeah, man. But salute to you, Blue, for that final take, though. Much appreciation. You pulled up to the panel, man. Always dropping knowledge on here, man. Salute.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, now we got the homeboy, Huscular and Muscular. What you got to say for your final thoughts, man?
Well, for my final thoughts, let me just say the reason why I asked that question earlier about marriage being a goal or just a desire is because I thought about Tia Mowry and her marriage, talking about she graduated from that. So that's probably why I asked that question. Y'all think it's a personal goal now, or is it just something that people just have the desire to do? Because I feel like nowadays that's a problem with relationships now. They look at them as something that they have to do to some special obligations or something. Like, I don't want, like, you don't want to be old and by yourself for the rest of your life. You don't want to be old, single, and childless. So lock down a husband, lock down a wife, just because that's what adults do. So they have this misconception of marriage. It ain't about bringing the man upstairs in the mix. It ain't about coming together with someone you love. Just do it because that's what you're supposed to do, just to survive. A survival tactic. It's sad but true, as Metallica would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, this conversation went everywhere. We went from talking about old TV shows some years past, the Power Rangers, the X-Men, but it all had one thing in common: how masculinity is not what it once was, and femininity damn sure ain't what it once was. Because like I said, when we had Power Rangers, we had X-Men, we had all them heroes, you had female characters, strong, independent, can fend for themselves, but they still relied on their male counterparts to help them out. They have respect for their male
counterparts. You know, the ladies had Sailor Moon too. Don't forget about Sailor Moon. You know, they was big on that back in the day.
Absolutely.
I didn't like Sailor Moon much, but
I'm not saying I liked it either. I'm just saying, like, man,
the theme song is catchy. I'll say that.
Can we sing it? I want to sing it before we go.
Oh God.
No, please.
Well, I mean.
Hey, go ahead, Melody.
For your closing, you can do that. Since you closing, you can do it.
The theme song is catchy. I'll give it that. I love the theme song.
Because while y'all was watching Sailor Moon, we was watching Gundam Wing and Dragon Ball Z. So
correct. Those are more massive.
Hey, even to a certain degree, we was watching Pokemon.
Oh, facts. Pokemon.
Yeah.
All these shows, they show masculinity and femininity being balanced with each other and complementing each other. We don't see that anymore. So I say we need to get back to what works and not what's gonna bring in the new age. Get back to what worked when we were growing up and say the hell with this new age stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my final thoughts.
All right, brother.
Well, thanks for having me. But before I dip out, let me just say, shout out to Killer Swag. Get in that bag. He don't care about no price tags. And my next shout out to you, my sweet Melody. I love what you're telling me. The way you be killing it, that's a felony.
Thank you so much for that. You know, I love that.
Together, they are the dynamic duo with all the right tools, making modern women feel like a bunch of fools.
Thank you.
Kill them sweet for life, fight for right, and are always out of sight.
Appreciate you, Obi. Appreciate that, man.
Take care, deuces.
Yeah, and I gotta play this just while he's exiting.
Sweet,
you know how
bringing the heat, looking so fly in the YouTube streets.
Thanks.
Had to play that one good time before he dipped up out of here, man. All
Definitely.
Right, man. Yo, so what you got to say, Rakim?
Man, I want to say shout out to you, Killer Swag. Shout out to you once again, Miss Melanie. Shout out to Muscular and the brother Blue, and also the brother Leo. Man, it's been a pleasure. Thank y'all for having me up here. I highly appreciate that. And like with everything that we just covered, it just goes to show people need to be ahead of the game and people need to understand what's going on. As far as Tory Lanez go, I'm just tired of seeing these celebrities crash out, man. Like in his case, I understand with the whole Megan and Kelsey situation. Megan, it's just a sad situation, man, because the odds were stacked against him from the beginning, and we all know, like you said, somebody said that his DNA wasn't on a firearm; it was Kelsey's fingerprints that was on a firearm and everything. Yes, he was definitely railroaded, but a lot of this could have been easily avoided as well on his behalf, as far as him being responsible. But it's a sad situation, man. I don't know how he's gonna get through it, you know, because he took it to trial and lost. So I don't know, man. But you know, hopefully, you know, there's some light that's coming his way. That you know, he'll be able to, you know, get out of this jam, man. But that's all I got to say on that aspect. Once again, thank y'all for having me. I'm gonna get ready to head out.
All right, thanks for coming. We appreciate
it. Thanks, Letter, aka Rakim. Salute to you.
Always a pleasure.
Man, salute to y'all, man. Y'all take it easy. Have yourselves a good morning.
Thank you. You too, man.
Good night.
All right, Leo, what you got to say for your final thoughts, bro?
I would say people need to inject some positivity in their life. Like a good thing to have is like a group of friends. That's why I have a small circle of friends that are positive and kind of keep me grounded. Because like if you look at Tory Lanez's situation, or even the situation with the other guy who's messing with Drea, you know, where are your friends at? Where's your mans at to say, yo, you should be doing that? You wildin', you know, you got to move smart out here. So people need to do that. And also don't let the media brainwash you. Like, I think Demetrius said it earlier that the media is jumping on this angry train of man versus women, and they're constantly just shoving those type of imagery at you. So, like 18 Straight was saying, just stay ahead of the game. Focus on stuff that is positive and keeps you productive, and that's really where your head should be. Other than that, it was fun. I'm glad we ain't had no crazy, fight night for a Sunday, and it was relaxed. This was fun, and yeah, have a good night, and thanks for having me up again, Melody and Killer.
Thank you
Peace
so
to y'all.
much.
Peace to the chat. Good night, y'all.
Deuces,
Good
fam.
night. Deuces.
Salute to you, Leo. All right, well, I guess that just leaves me, yo. That just leaves me. All right, man. My final thoughts on this whole situation is, like I said, I think Tory Lanez got railroaded. I still believe that Megan and Kelsey set dude up from the jump because, I mean, like, it's just so many holes in that story. It's like, you mean to tell me you couldn't find one reason about that doubt that Tory couldn't have did this? And I see people all over the place like, yeah, Tory did. How do you know? Like, you're going off of what the media tells you. You're going off of all of this stuff. And nah, man, like, I like to look at the whole spectrum before I make my final judgment on it. And I've heard so many different takes come out of that case where old girl somehow, some way ended up getting immunity so that she didn't have to speak. But yet Tory had to get a gag order to where he couldn't talk. So it was like, at this particular point, man, I think dude just got railroaded. And I mean, I hope he gets home sooner than the 10 years, but it ain't looking like it, especially being out there in Cali. So he might be donezo for that one. But I mean, I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for his father, his mother, and his son that's got to be 10 years without his father. That's really what's going to mess me up right there, because that's another situation that us black folks currently deal with in our society, where a lot of fathers are taken away from their children, whether it be from prison or deletion. And that's the biggest problem right there. And as far as like the Neo situation, I absolutely agree 110% on everything that he said, flat out, hands down. Ain't nothing else need to be said on that note. And the young boy messing with Dre Michelle, he basically is doing what a lot of us wish we could have done when we was his age. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, that's just what it is. Like, we would love to knock down older women when we're that young. So, I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves. And then with the teachers dressing all scantily clad, like I already said earlier, I had dreams of my teachers dressing like that all the time, so it ain't no big deal for me. So, I mean, I think it's crazy, and that's why I always will say now, especially more than ever, like, if I were to ever have kids, they're being homeschooled. They're not even about to be dealing with that type of stuff, regardless of whether they dress normal or not. So that's all I really got to say on my final thoughts. So, Melody, the floor is yours.
Okay, so my final thoughts is that with Tory Lanez, I mean, if he did it, I mean, I'm leaning more towards that he did it, but like I said, he did not deserve 10 years. There's people that did way worse than shooting someone in the foot, murder. It been white people who murdered black people and got less than 10 years. Okay, so let's acknowledge that. So they did him dirty. And like I said, they was trying to set an example and show us that, hey, if you're black, you ain't gonna get away with it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, not saying you ain't gonna get away with it, but they're gonna give you the harshest sentence if you're black. So yeah, just let this be a lesson to you guys and women, and just stay out of trouble. Like, they shouldn't have had a gun in the first place. Let's say that. None of them should have. And that's pretty much why he got such a harsh sentence, because he had a firearm and he wasn't supposed to. But the whole people saying, oh, they brought it to, people are trying to do all this to black women, and because Megan is black, that's why, and no one believes black women. No, that's not the case. People actually looked at what happened. Like, we looking at the situation. there was a big possibility that what's her name, Kelsey or Chelsea probably did it. But I mean, they did the trial and everything, and it's pointing at Tory, unfortunately. And unfortunately, he got to suffer and get this really harsh sentence. So my heart go out to everybody in the situation. It goes out to Megan because she got shot in the foot by somebody. Hold on. My screen went black. I don't know who did it, but my heart go out to her, and my heart go out to Tory because they did him dirty with them 10 years. As far as the teachers go, like I said, a lot of teachers are just curvy, and clothes will fit them. Anything they wear is going to make them look sexy, because when you got them curves, you can put on a pair of sweats and a t-shirt and still look sexual. So from those pictures, I don't think a lot of those women deserved criticism, because the first one in the fourth picture, right? We said she had on regular clothes, but because of her curves, it just looked ridiculous. But yeah, I don't think women should be dressing skanky around our children. I mean, that's just crazy and trifling, and I think GC said it. If you have the curves, just wear clothes that's not going to show them. Like, try to wear like big t-shirts, stuff, nothing tight to the skin. That's pretty much what GC said. What else did we talk about? Oh, and Neo. Everything Neo said, I 100% agree with. Everything he said. There's nothing that he said that was wrong. That, what you call it, the HDTV community?
Yeah, I call it the HDTV community.
The HDTV community should not be so sensitive. I mean, if we got to hear what they got to say, they should be able to hear and take criticism from what we got to say, pretty much. But they always play a victim, unfortunately. So that's just the world that we live in. But that's all I got for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It was a pleasure. I think it was a great show. How about you, Swag?
Oh, I definitely thought it was a dope show tonight. Like, I mean, we touched on every single topic there was to touch on. It was no foolishness. It was no craziness. And then, of course, we did a lot of reminiscing about what we used to do when we was kids. So that also took me back, too. So that's why I was like, yo, man, this was a dope show. This was definitely one of my favorite Kill Them Sweetly so far, I would say right now.
I would say so, too. Everybody had great takes. I just love, I'm going to say it. I ain't say it all night, but I love y'all. I really do. I love all of y'all. Y'all were great. I love having Swag as my host as well, my co-host, somebody who hosts with me. I host with him. We simulcast on each other's channels. I think we are a great dynamic. Yeah, and that's all.
Yeah. That's it. And just like the homie Shannon Sharp is telling y'all to do right now, make sure y'all do this.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button.
I thought he was going to say hit the like button.
I mean, of course, hit the like button too, but we want people to subscribe to our channel as well,
We sure do.
Yeah. So, yeah, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit the like buttons on the way out for Sweet Melody Media and your boy Killer Swag 216. And, maybe one of these days I might stream on my Killer Swag District channel. I don't know. Yeah, who knows? But the bottom line is, man, just make sure y'all hit the like button for us, hit the subscribe button, and share this out. Even if the show's over, share it anyway. We still want people to watch it and comment in the show. That way, that can also get these shows into the algorithm as well, so that people can come through like, hey, what's the fuss in the comment section over here? Then they come and watch the show. They like, oh, this is dope. I sub. Boom. It's over there. So just make sure that y'all can help grow this community, this Killing Them Sweetly community, this Killing Them Sweetly mafia gang that we got going on over here, man. So I'm going to let baby girl close it out, man. So go ahead and take it away so we can be out of here.
Peace. I'm tired.
I feel you. So on that note, y'all, Killing Them Sweetly is up out of here. See y'all next Sunday for Grown and Sexy Conversations. We out this mug. Deuces.
Deuces.
Leap, about to take off.